All right, everyone, it is Friday, and you know what that means. It is time for Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. I am one of the co-hosts, Damon Pastolka, here today. And I just have to
Not Kurt.
say, that is not Kurt Anderson over there.
I have hair.
Yeah, yes. But we've got the wonderful Paola with us today. She's going to be helping us talk about the AI digital marketing for manufacturers and how to create a marketing plan for manufacturers.
Yeah.
Something we talk about a lot, something, Kurt is doing every day. I help with, you help with, our
Yep.
team is helping manufacturers do this. Paula, thanks for being here today.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me here. And yeah, it's not Kurt. It's a little bit different. I'm not as chatty or as fun as he is, but we'll do the best we can, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Kurt's off visiting his daughter, newly into college this
Yeah.
week, so that's awesome. But I think, Paula, we were talking about this before we got on.
Yeah.
Creating a marketing plan. What are some of the fundamentals you think? Where do you start when you're sitting here? I got a blank page
Yeah.
in front of me. Where do you really start with a marketing plan?
Well, after you wipe your tears and you focus,
Yeah,
you are you basically sit down and how I would view it is just you figure out what you do, who you're doing it for, and what problem you're solving for that person. That is
yeah,
going to be the foundation of any business, right? Like, what is it you do? Who are you doing it for? Why are you doing it? What problem are you really solving for your buyer, your audience member?
mm-hmm.
That's where I would start. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That
that's
I
it.
agree 100% because as Kurt's been doing this before you and I, and as we've come into it and been working with it with him, there's just steps to the process, right? There's steps to the
There.
process, and like you said, figuring out who we're helping, how we're helping them, and what questions they have,
Yeah,
and that really is the basis of a decent marketing plan.
it is.
So
That's where I
the
start.
in your experience, Paula, what are some of the things that people miss or rush to before they do the foundational work?
I think they have the what is it? The shiny object syndrome. They want to do what everyone else is doing, and then you start to do it. So whether it's like getting onto a social media trend, starting with your website, things like that, things that are not they're necessary eventually to help support your business, but they're not the first things you need to focus. I'm the type of person who loves to do that. I have a plan, I want to do it, but I also have this idea for a great social post, or I have a great idea for a website that I want to do, but then I find myself actually doing it and I've not worked on my actual business. And so I think just focusing first on those key questions about your business is really going to help you stop from making those first mistakes. And making mistakes is actually really great because you learn what's going to work in your business and what isn't working in your business, and what works for your soulmate, what doesn't work for your soulmate. But you have to know what you're doing first before you start to tackle every piece of the business. And so a really good thing to do is start with those, what we just talked about originally.
Yes, yes. So Kurt has a way that he's been doing it for a lot of years, and we've been
Mhm.
revising it. And I just want to show
Yeah.
that real briefly because we started out many years ago doing this in a digital game plan format where we're
Yeah.
doing the so versus so what being your strengths and opportunities, and then customer segmentation, buyer persona, and then looking into other things down the road, and kind of just showing the history of how
Yeah.
we help when we're working with manufacturers to do
Right.
this. And then when we've been doing this for a while now, we've actually started and developed a SaaS product now that
Yeah.
helps us do this, because we evolved from we have to sit there and meet with the customer many times, lots of
Yes.
discussions, learning all kinds of things,
Oh,
to being able to go now use Chat GPT, because this is AI digital marketing for manufacturers we're talking today, right? So we started using Chat GPT, and we noticed that, wow, this if we help it ask the right questions and do
yes.
things, it gives us really good information. So the same thing
Yeah.
that we were doing before was taking us a ton of time, a ton of expertise, is now
Mhm.
much more streamlined and allows us to get through those questions like you were talking about, Paula. That is really, who are we
Yeah.
serving? How are we doing that? What is our customer really looking for from us? And then how do we generate our marketing that really helps them around that?
Yeah, it creates that roadmap for you, and it helps you like start to kind of focus on, making sure that anything that you build from your business starts at this point, it's all relevant and applicable. You're not jumping into things that have nothing to do with your business, or maybe not actually where your audience is, or not, content that they actually don't need because that's not what they're looking for. So yeah, so this is a really great place. I love how it's coming out from the typical spreadsheet. I know it's really hard to let go of your spreadsheets because everyone knows exactly what they're doing with them, but I think this is a really great way to just simplify it, and using the power of AI. I'm not a huge fan of AI for a number of reasons, but I do love how it is a great place to just, especially if you're a team of one and you're just starting out your business,
Mm-hmm.
and you need a business part, like an idea person to bounce off ideas from, and a strategic partner almost, without having to go out there and find one or have the financial resources to
Yep.
hire one. It really serves as a good place to give you that place to sound off your ideas, to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Really just finesse your process. And with AI and the digital game plan, it's really going to be even more powerful, because now it's giving you a place to start from, and then that you get to just get your hands on it and add
Yeah.
your actual, okay, yeah, I love this, but we need to punch it up a little bit more, or this isn't
Yep.
exactly what I need, or this is not what I do. And it really gives you a visual board of your business. It lets you get intimate on a different level that we've never been able to do without, like you said earlier, spending thousands of hours of talking to clients,
Yes.
talking to potential clients, talking to friends and family,
Yes.
having mentors. I think those are all still relevant and necessary.
Mm-hmm.
This does not replace that, but it helps give you a running start versus a crawl.
There you go. And I think that's the real thing that AI can help us to do in our
Yeah.
marketing efforts, is really to get us organized and get us off the blank sheet
Yes.
faster. And
Yes.
in our digital game plan, one of the things that we really love about the AI is it goes from 0 to maybe 50. And
Yeah.
then with refinements, user input, and everything else, we get to 100. But that first 50 goes so fast now, it's literally in minutes where it was weeks or months
Yeah.
before. So we get to the point to being able to generate good, valuable information for our potential customers much faster.
And also brings up things that you may not have thought to think about. Like, oh my gosh, I
Yes.
didn't even think about that.
Yes.
So
And
yeah,
that's a great point. And as we go through, like with the digital game plan here, like we did in the old spreadsheet, we do customer segmentation, we do the ICP that we're developing, we do the buyer journey, and go into those things. And then we go into the keywords and then the questions. And I really get jacked on the questions, because as I do this
Mhm.
with manufacturers and we're going through these questions that come up are really um, great to be able to talk
Yeah.
about in your content. Because if your ICP, your ideal customers, the potential customers, are asking these questions and you're not answering them, you're missing out. Because if other people are, they're
Yeah.
going to go to them for the information.
Right. And especially now how everything is changing with searching, a lot of people are now starting to lean towards just doing their Google searches within a chat, robot or a chat box or
Yep.
a source. Then this is really going to be highly key to your marketing plan. Is what questions do we need to be asking? What questions do we need to be answering? What haven't we thought of that we need to be asking? And how do we start addressing those? So really, when it comes to making your plan, you got to get intimate with your business first off. Like, that's key.
Yes.
And then you start to build out your plan from there, and AI is going to help you build that out a little bit faster. uh,
Yes.
but
Yes.
definitely don't don't not talk to a human, don't not get their input, right?
Yes, yes, you
But
still want to get the input, you still want to
yes,
use it. The AI will
yeah,
get you started, and
yeah,
you need to refine the questions, you need to refine
exactly.
the things. It's going to give
Amen.
you ideas, you build on that to get the ultimate endpoint.
Yeah, and when you're done building out your plan, like bounce it off a real human. Like, does this sound like something that you are interested in? You know, talk to a potential customer. Talk to your if you have a customer already, ask them about it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what the information we're giving out there. A lot of times we may just fail to like. You're always looking for answers, or you're looking for some type of strategy. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just ask who the people you're serving.
Mhm.
Ask them directly. Go to the source.
Yes, that's great. That's great. Well, Paula, we have Mahabub. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. The discussion on AI digital marketing for manufacturers is fantastic. Thanks for stopping by and dropping a comment. I appreciate you stopping by so much, filling in as a guest co-host with me today. And again, we were talking about AI digital marketing for manufacturers and how to create a marketing plan for manufacturers. Paula, what final thoughts would you want to leave with the people listening today?
Oh, shoot, man, I should have come prepared for that. I think no matter what you do, it's okay that you have a little grace for yourself because it's
Yes.
no first plan is ever going to be right from the beginning. And so you just keep working at it, keep finessing it. What works today may actually evolve next year or in 10 years. I mean, look at us. I don't think any of us thought we would be at this moment right now. I feel
Yes.
like we're living a movie, right? Like, oh my gosh, Terminator's around the corner, right? Judgment Day is coming, right? But I think it's just have grace for yourself. Get intimate with your business, really dive into it, what you're doing, what we talked about earlier, and go from there. But leave room for you to have some grace for yourself because you are going to make mistakes no matter how good your map is. And sometimes
Yeah.
you find a detour you want to take. So be okay, be open to that.
Yes. I agree. That's great advice, Paula. And thank you for being here today, Paula.
Yeah. Thank you
Appreciate
for
you.
having me.
Yeah, appreciate your insights. So great. So great to be able to work with you. I want to
Yeah.
thank all the listeners today because we're going to we love that you're here every week. We love that you're listening. We love that we see
Yeah.
the comments. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the views. Thank you for all the inspiration you give us. So we're going to be out for now. Paul and I are going to continue on with our day. Everyone else have a great weekend. And if
Fantastic
you're in the
weekend.
US, have a great holiday weekend. Thanks, everyone.